Hello, welcome to another edition of Only in Illinois, your weekly video recap from Reboot Illinois. I'm Madeline Dubeck here with Matt Dietrich, and this week we want to talk in some more depth about an important financial plan that was produced by the Civic Federation, which is a well-respected, nonpartisan fiscal watchdog based in Chicago.
And the Civic Federation came out with its report this week, giving basically its 5-year roadmap to fiscal health for the state of Illinois. Traditionally, the Civic Federation has been kind of a hero for fiscal conservatives in the General Assembly because it has frequently criticized the state's budgeting and spending practices. And it was also the loudest voice on the pension reform issue in the last few years. However, I don't think the fiscal hawks who really want to see the 2011 tax increase just go away as scheduled at the end of the year are not going to be very happy with what's in this report. And it also contained a very, I would say, very surprising recommendation that we got a pretty good hint about this a week earlier.
At our debate.
Right, when Executive Director Lawrence Massall of the Civic Federation asked this question.
Other states tax retirement income. The federal government taxes retirement income. In Illinois, no matter how much you make in retirement, no matter what its source is, that's tax-free. As we see an aging population in Illinois, would you support sharing the burden for all of these debts that we've built up? And if you believe that we've been undertaxing people in Illinois for many years, would you support taxing retirement income?
I don't support taxing retirement income. It's the same reason. I believe, again, that the problem in the state is we're spending too much money. And I support many of the recommendations in your report in the way to cut spending, but I don't want to raise taxes.
Look, I think that part of what gets us in trouble in Washington, D.C. is kind of the Grover Norquist pledge about what one will or will not do. So what I will say is my concern there would be making sure, similar to our issue with the flat taxation problem, that we take into account what folks are making as we consider a structure for doing something like that.
The Civic Federation's recommendation that Illinois start taxing retirement income was probably the most remarkable thing about its report this week. The state has never taxed retirees' income, no matter how high, and that costs the state at least $2 billion a year, according to the Civic Federation report. The report contains bad news for Republicans and Democrats. It basically dismisses the notion of allowing the 2011 tax increase to expire suddenly, saying that doing so would create a fiscal cliff with dire consequences. Specifically, it says the state's backlog of unpaid bills would balloon from $4.5 billion this year to more than $23 billion in fiscal year 2019. But it also has sharp warnings about the need to contain spending. Basically, the report says that neither just reducing expenses nor simply extending the current taxes will fix the problem. The state's going to have to do both.
That's it for this week's edition of Only in Illinois. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again next week.